All right, guys, welcome back. We're now on Kulos Ravine with Cauthon Luck up 2-1 over IdrA right now. And Sean, I know you'd like to talk about this map, so before I say anything about it, I'm just going to let you kind of do your spiel on it.
Well, I think the most important factor of this map is that IdrA is angry. I mean, I'm not going to lie. IdrA was mad after that first game. I mean, coming right in the channel and, you know, throwing out a stream of curse words like, oh, you cheese in every matchup, huh? And, I mean, that is exactly IdrA from Starcraft 1. I'm not going to lie. IdrA's the sort of player who is convinced of exactly the way the game should play. He likes these long, drawn-out macro games that rely on good unit compositions, nice transitions, good unit control. But it's that big variety at the start of the game when players, you know, might be doing something creative like Cauthon Luck. And I'm not going to lie. Cauthon Luck's opening was brilliant. The timing of it, how fast he got a Banshee, it's insane that manages to work that well. And it was a good map to do it on. But IdrA seems to have convinced himself that is somehow an inappropriate way to play. And as we can see, IdrA, look at this, sending a drone scout out on 9. Who 9 drone scouts in this game? That's so incredibly early. Checking for cheese already.
All right, so we do have IdrA spawning at the 2 o'clock position as the red Zerg, and Cauthon Luck is the blue Terran at the 5 o'clock position. You do see a supply depot now looking pretty standard there for Cauthon Luck, going down at the choke of his base, and IdrA is going to be sending that drone over to the wrong position, completely opposite of where Cauthon Luck is. Should be seeing it turning around pretty soon. There it goes, now turning around finally. Going back to IdrA's base, we do see him still continue to build drones now on his 14th drone. We're probably going to see a pull here pretty soon. It looks like he's saving up for it, waiting for this 200 minerals so he can go ahead and put that down. Going back into Cauthon Luck's base, he now has a barracks going up and also a refinery going up on that Vespene gas. Pretty standard build for both these players right now.
Yeah, look at this. There's the 15 pool by IdrA. Now to actually answer your original question of what are interesting factors about this map, I mean, there's a lot of high ground, low ground stuff. I mean, look at this natural expansion for IdrA. I mean, if we can just look right directly south of that, there's a huge area to defend. I mean, there's this little pool of water that splits stuff up, but that is enormous, and there's a high ground to worry about. I've actually seen players rush for Thor drops because Thor has range 7 on ground, can shoot all the drones, has range 10, can kill all the Overlord spotting, and there's not really much that the Zerg can do. Most Terrans are going to favor some sort of cutesy harassment or something like that, and then try to take these destructible rocks out at the back of the base, so that way they can expand to their backside. And look at this. Looks like IdrA is going to be losing his scouting drone. That precious 9 drone scout that he sent out so early does fall, so IdrA already has a little bit of a needle in his play.
Now, we do see kind of a same opener that we saw from Cauthon a couple games ago, that SCV is now sitting inside of IdrA's main, but he is sending 2 of those Marines possibly to his natural. We might see a bunker coming down from, actually scratch that. We now see 2 Zerglings rushing after that SCV as IdrA's probably just screaming obscenities as he's chasing down that SCV right now. We see 2 drones also pulled, looking like he's going to try to harass this hatchery a little bit. Going back into his base quickly, we do see a reactor going down on that first barracks with the factory being built. Now going back up here to the natural of IdrA, we do see that SCV going back in for one more quick tour of IdrA's base. He's hopefully going to be able to see this Roach Bay. If he goes up right now, he should be, there he goes, now being able to spot it. He's going to fall, that SCV is going to fall. He's going to retreat those 2 Marines, but he got what he went for. He got that information. And one thing I want to really discuss really quickly is that Cauthon Luck took a little bit heated words from IdrA prior to this match starting. He was saying that you can't beat me without cheesing. So do you think Cauthon is going to kind of play a little bit more standard here and just kind of try to shut IdrA up?
Well, I mean, Cauthon Luck didn't seem shaken at all. I mean, like, he lost first game kind of embarrassingly, I'm not going to lie. I mean, he had this opening, and then he just moved out and died, like, instantly. There was, like, no contest to it. But he seemed fine, and then he just whips right around and plays a great Game 2, and then he plays a great Game 3. And here he is. Looks like his opening's turning out as solidly as he wants. He, supply depot's a little bit late, but he's getting those early Hellions out. The Roaches are up now for IdrA, but again, these chokes are so wide, it's going to be too hard to block this. And I would not be surprised to see Cauthon Luck just make a ton of Hellions and just try to harass the front. But oh, look at this. We see Reapers being made from those 2 barracks. So a lot of abuse of the map right now.
And you can't see his waypoint actually on that bottom barracks. It looks like he's going to go straight towards the east of his base, and that Overlord is going to spot it. So I think this little Reaper attack might be nullified as soon as IdrA sees that going with his Overlord there. He's pulling that Overlord back. Now going back to the natural of IdrA, we see Cauthon kind of creeping up a little bit on the Zerg, trying to figure out the best area of entry for those Hellions. Now he's going to send him in. Looks like he's going to go straight towards those Lings, kill a couple, and just back off. Now see him go back in, getting a couple little more hits, little poke shots, as Sean likes to call it. We do see those Reapers now going up on the east side. It looks like he's going to be able to get into that base pretty easily. We see 2 roaches there of IdrA, and he's now controlling them, so he's ready for this attack. I think he's trying to snipe that Vespian Geyser right there. You can snipe it from the higher ground there on that little side, but IdrA does not have it up. We now see him moving those Reapers in. Looks like they're going to kill 1. They're going to kill 2. We do also see the Hellions in from Cauthon Luck. It looks like they're going to take down a little bit of the drones of WoW. Looks like IdrA might lose WoW. He lost 2 of those right there. Going for the last one. Oh, and all of Cauthon Luck's units dies, but not without taking out a little bit of drones of IdrA. They're now at 13 units lost. I'm not really sure how many of those are drones. We do see IdrA sending all of his forces now towards Cauthon Luck, and he's going to be able to probably defend that as we see 4 Marauders and a couple Marines, as well as those 2 Hellions, going now back into the side of his base. Looks like he's going to keep building those Hellions and keep building those Marauders. He should be able to defend this attack pretty easily.
Yeah, I have no idea what IdrA's doing right now. Look, he has his roaches at the front, and I guess he's just going for a normal sort of contain, but, I mean, Cauthon Luck is capable of just getting some extra Reapers right now. I mean, so it's a little risky of a play. IdrA, if we look, is at 38 food, and Cauthon Luck is at 50 food. And this is even more vulnerable for IdrA, because IdrA now has to replenish all those drones that he just lost. And what's Cauthon Luck doing in the meantime? Making the units that just demolish roaches. Tons of Marauders, getting even some extra Hellions, and I like the fact that there are 6 Hellions in Cauthon Luck's base right now. He is not messing around. He is not going to make the same blunder he did last game. Look, adding on 2 more Hellions, and if we go into the main of IdrA, it looks like IdrA is also researching that Zergling speed. So, I mean, it's not going to turn out anything like Game 1.
IdRA's actually doing something kind of interesting. He's taking down these destructible rocks outside of his base above his natural. I'm not really sure what he's planning on doing there. It looks like he has an attack queued up for that second set of destructible rocks. You possibly thinking he's going to expand over there and possibly take another expansion?
Well, this is one of those precautions that you take on this map specifically. I kill a destructible rocks so I don't lose to any sort of weird, obnoxious drop action. And look at this. Oh, Cauthon Luck goes to the Xel'Naga Watchtower, sees that there was not anything, and then just backs off. So see, this play by IdrA, I like the fact that he killed that destructible rock, because again, helps to hold off cheese, and that is the sort of play that you do saying, yes, I must account for the possibility of this cheese happening. You don't somehow decide that it is an inappropriate way to play in some regard.
We do see that spawning pool finish the Speedling upgrade for those Zerglings. And we do see actually Cauthon Luck moving out of his base now with a handful of Marauders, 2 Marines, and also those Hellions there, 9 Hellions right outside of IdrA's base. Possibly going to see an attack here. One thing to note is that IdrA does have those creep tumors in place, so he's going to be able to move a little bit faster. I mean, now we see Cauthon Luck engage on those roaches. Those Hellions kind of take the brunt of those roach attacks, which is probably not the best thing. However, we do see IdrA try to flank, and Cauthon Luck is right there to meet him with those Hellions as he moves those Marauders back, easily kiting away those roaches, and IdrA now just kind of deciding how he wants to attack this.
Yeah, that is unbelievable control by Cauthon Luck. Just perfect way of dealing with those Zerglings, and then moving forward, getting this huge concave against all of IdrA's roaches. Look at all those roaches getting toasted up by those Hellions. That Queen is going to fall almost instantly, and it looks like Cauthon Luck might be able to take this game relatively easily. Dancing back, ooh, I do not like that decision to pull back right there. Trying to micro those Marauders, but fortunately, I mean, the Queen is already down, so it looks like Cauthon Luck is going to have a relatively easy time cleaning up the remainder of these roaches. Oh my god, these numbers are falling pretty quickly. He needs to make sure he micros, but more units come in. Those 4 more Marauders pop right out the front. It looks like Cauthon Luck has eliminated all the roaches of IdrA. And, I mean, we have another Queen coming out for IdrA in actually both places. IdrA at 800 minerals, got really screwed up on his economy. And then here, Cauthon Luck just advancing forward, using the solid build he opened with in Game 1, but executing it so perfectly that there is just not much IdrA can do at this point.
And it looks like IdrA is going to try to save his Oh, wow. Never mind. He's not going to save anything. He's just going to end up leaving the game without a GG, and Cauthon Luck is going to surprise the hell out of me, taking this series 3-1 over IdrA. Watching Cauthon Luck in those practice matches prior to this match, I was really, really worried that he wasn't going to be able to be that competitive with IdrA, but he completely turned things around there in that short time period. That 24 hours really helped him of practicing. And Sean, what are your feelings on these matches that you saw?
I mean, it's pretty amazing to see how not shaken Cauthon was after game one. I mean, he executed a pretty technical build in game two. You know, you have to have very careful micro, wall off just perfectly, and then get that Banshee up really fast. He executed this amazing cheese in game three, getting his Banshee up instantly. And then in game four, he played a solid, straight-up game. And what's interesting to note is how IdrA seemed shaken in that fourth game. IdrA sending out a 9 drone scout, assuming that his opponent was going to quote-unquote pull some ridiculous cheese, you know, and what happened? I mean, Cauthon Luck just played solid, straight up, and won. And I was so impressed by Cauthon's micro in that last battle, moving those Marauders back and forth, sending those Hellions to the proper flank to kill off those Zerglings. I was just blown away at how Cauthon Luck just held down fine after those first 3 games.
Yeah, Cauthon really showing that he has the stuff to hang with the best here in StarCraft 2. So we will see him moving on to next week. And one thing I want to note is that next week we might be trying something a little bit different and throwing on 2 more extra matches for you guys, 2 more best-of-5 series to kind of help the community out and just enjoy casting these games that me and Sean do every week, and we just want to do a lot more and do as much games as possible. So you might see a little bit more matches next week. Remember to go and vote on Monday when that poll goes up. It might be a little bit different this week. And also one more thing I want to add is that we might be doing a little State of the Game podcast with a couple of the top StarCraft 2 players out there, and look for that in the future. Not really sure when we're going to be doing that, but hopefully here in the next month or so. So I'm JP McDaniel here for MLG. Sean, do you have any last words you want to throw out?
I'm just delighted to see that there has not really been anyone who's stayed as King of the Hill. I mean, people are just getting rotated out, you know, there's even some players who didn't even show up when they won. I mean, a lot of changes going on, especially with, you know, all the adjustments going on with the patch. I mean, for instance, IdrA opening up with those roaches in all the games, when most players were getting Hydras very, very quickly. It seems like that adjustment is actually not the correct one, and that perhaps sticking more to those Hydras will be able to hold down a little bit better against that variety of strategies we saw Cauthon Luck pull today.
All right, guys. Well, remember to also check out the Day 9 Daily there from Sean Plott on his livestream.com/StriderDoom account. Remember to check that out. Sean, what is the schedule for that? Because I always forget.
It is 7 p.m. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, and then 10 p.m. Monday and 9 p.m. Wednesday. And of course, I would have it at 7 p.m. every day, but I have to do this whole grad school thing, which is really getting in the way of esports.
All right, guys. We will be back next Saturday. Not really sure what time it is because we have been playing at 9 to kind of conform and help IdrA as he is living in Korea, but we do have a native of America now from Seattle playing, so the time might be a little bit different. Make sure to check out TL.net for that and also godfrag.com. And we'll be back next week with Week 6 of the MLG Showcase Series.